Okay, so we are recording, and once again, thank you and welcome to Matalan's virtual talk, where we'll tell you more about our placement opportunities for 2021. Session will last approximately an hour, which will include Q&A as well. So quick introductions. So first of all, my name's Gary Barnes. I'm part of the Matalan Learning and Development team. My role specifically is focusing around early careers and talent development at Matalan, which is a little bit of a mix of obviously focusing on amazing people like you at the start of your career journey, supporting you through placement, work experience, and also from an internal point of view, I look after Matalan's apprenticeship programs for our colleagues, as well as support with internal talent development, whether that be from succession planning, helping colleagues succeed and progress in their role, to identifying skill gap opportunities to fill, as well as any risk roles where we need to backfill or have more support around it, or future business projects that are coming out where there's lack of skill set in that area. So my role is kind of threefold: early careers, apprenticeships, and internal talent development. I have a huge passion for people development. I've been in learning and development for over 15 years. More recently, started getting involved and working with the Matalan recruitment team in terms of early careers. And I'm coming up to my anniversary. So this month I've been at Matalan for 5 years, and I've loved every single minute of it. Okay, I'll also like to introduce you to Annie. Over to you, Annie. Are you there?
I'm on mute, of course. To start things off well. So I'm Annie. I'm currently studying at the University of Manchester, doing fashion technology, and I am the placement student in technical services for this year.
Brilliant. And you joined us, didn't you, in August? So are you coming up to 3 months now, is it?
Yeah, so it is about 3 months in a few days, which has just flown by, to be honest.
Brilliant. And we're looking forward to tapping into your journey, Annie. You're going to tell us all about you're going to share more information about your first 3 months, things that you love, and then talk to us about why you also believe Matalan's a great place for future students. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to be sharing with you some insight into my daily life.
Excellent. Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. And as I say, guys, thank you to you as well for joining us. Hopefully you find this session really beneficial, informative. You get a good feel for Matalan, get a good feel for the technologist role, and you'll hear it firsthand from Annie about her journey, her experience, a day in the life of. So it gives you a real true understanding of what this placement opportunity is all about. So moving that on, why do we believe Matalan is a fantastic place for young people like yourself coming in on a placement opportunity to really gain that invaluable work experience, develop amazing skills, both personally and professionally, that will set you up for future success in your career? Well, first of all, if you know anything about Matalan, you'll know that we are one of the UK's leading clothing and home retailers. We offer quality fashion and home products at outstanding value for customers. And we're predominantly out of town locations, which would be more commonly known as retail parks. But we are on the high street and we are international, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. So we are a successful brand with a great culture. We're a family-run business. Our owner, John Hargreaves, will tell you more about the history of Matalan shortly. Where we created a culture where it's friendly. We've got a vibrant company that is very people-focused. We've got a state-of-the-art, purposely built head office site based in the Knowsley, Liverpool area. And the environment you work within is very supportive, very engaging, very innovative, very exciting, fast-paced. There's new challenges every single day. So it's a great culture and a great business to be part of. We opened our first store in Preston in 1985, so 35 years ago now. And since then, we've grown massively at a rate of knots. And we've got 230 stores in the UK. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this, but we are global. We've got over 35 stores internationally in places like Malta, Gibraltar, the Middle East, Egypt, and more recently Kosovo. If you follow us on social media, I think we've just opened up a store in Seychelles as well. So we are a business that is constantly growing and evolving, and we are global, and we are multi-channel, omni-channel as well. So we've come a long way in a short space of time. One thing that myself and I'm sure Annie will allude to, and previous students that have worked or spent time with Matalan, and even our existing colleagues now, will all tell you the real big thing that we're really proud of, that people, our students love and our colleagues love, is that real responsibility element working at Matalan. You get real life experience as a trusted and valued team member. It's the one thing, the biggest thing that people feedback about Matalan is that when you do spend your placement with us, you are not a spare part. You are very much part of the family, part of the team. You are taking up a position in that team. Therefore, you have responsibility and accountability. You are not just somebody who's making cups of tea for other members of the team. Far from it. And that is what our students and our colleagues really love about the time at Matalan. And then I think it's fair to say as well, in retail is constantly challenging, exciting, fast-paced. And then for a pandemic in the mix, and we need to be a business that is forward-thinking, continuously evolving, and always looking for new and exciting opportunities to engage the customer, service the customer, so that we are sustainable and we're always moving forward. And that is what we are at Matalan. Particularly in the last few months, this difficult time that we're in, we have many projects in the pipeline at Matalan to help us become more digital, to help service customers more from store, grow our e-commerce platform. And with us being a family-run business, we're able to accelerate our plans and turn into different directions a lot quicker than many other organizations. So we've seen some of those projects massively accelerate, and that has meant that Matalan has moved forward hugely, even in a very challenging time. And the big thing about you guys coming into Matalan in the future is that you'll be very much at the heart of that. We're bringing in young talent, a new generation of talent, to bring in new ideas, new ways of working to help move the business forward. So that is what we want from you. We want you to come in and make a difference. So if, by me telling you that and sharing that with you, isn't enough, then if you're familiar with something called Rate My Placement, then you'll know quite well that Matalan in 2020 was rated by its previous students as the #1 undergraduate placement program in retail, and that's for medium-sized placement schemes. So that is a huge achievement for Matalan, and a very rewarding achievement given what we put into our placement program. To hear that our students feel the same and have took the time out to go and rate the placement, and we are #1 in retail, and says it all for me. It's proof in the pudding that you will be getting a fantastic placement experience at Matalan. Okay. I mentioned before that we're a company that are very proud of our background and where we've come from. So this slide brings that to life for you. It is also a slide that you'll be able to access via our Matalan Jobs Careers website. And what it does is it gives you an insight into our journey. And I think that's really, really important for you, because you'll be wanting to work with a company that you feel connected to and it's the right fit for you, and and you're the right fit for us. So hearing and seeing and understanding our journey will help you prepare for your interview and help you, peace of mind knowing that you're coming into a fantastic organization. So a couple of things that I want to highlight here, so some headlines, is we started our journey in 1985. Prior to Matalan, we were a market stall in Liverpool. Our owner, John Hargreaves, was inspired by a trip to LA, loved the out-of-town retail park, shopping experience and concept. In 1985, we opened up our first store in Preston. That was a huge success with our Preston and neighbouring customers. Allowed us to massively grow. In 12 years' time, we then expanded the business and the brand. We opened up our own head office in Skelmersdale, also in the Liverpool area. And then you'll see over the next 10 years, we doubled our store intake. So up to 2006, we went up to 200 stores. 2009, we went international. 2015, we then entered the world of the high street as well. So it's been a huge growth for us in a very short space of time. And we continue to have that vision to continue to grow forward internationally as well. I'll tell you more about that shortly, that, we are looking to expand and grow internationally as well. We've got 35 international stores. Currently, I think that's increased now with the recent launch of Kosovo and Seychelles as well. Other top line headlines for you here is that Matalan are very passionate about its work with charity and charity partnerships. So we have the longest standing and largest charity partnership with the NSPCC, also known as Childline. The great work we've done and the investment and the support we give to that charity meant that in 2007, the Childline building in Liverpool was named after our owner, John Hargreaves. You'll be more familiar with the great work we do with Alder Hey, that year-on-year pajama campaign. Who knows, some of you might be sat at home now, chilled out with your Alder Hey Matalan pajamas on, or maybe not. But we do a fantastic initiative there to support that fantastic charity. Again, something what people don't often hear and see is the great work we do over in Bangladesh through our School of Hope initiative. We've set up schools that provide invaluable education and experience and future career prospects for the children of our factory workers over there, which is fantastic. And then, you may have seen in the press more in the last few years, the combined charity sort of fundraising we've done for Alder Hey and NSPCC has exceeded the 12 million mark, and that's gone beyond that now, because obviously we've had quite a lot of charity activity in the last couple of years as well. So we're immensely proud of our history, and we're immensely proud of the great work we do to support charities in the UK and abroad. So should you be successful with your placement, you're probably thinking, where would we be based? What's the site like? What's the environment like? Well, let me tell you a little bit more about that. So if you've ever seen our head office site, it was built around the 2014-15 period, so it's fairly new. It's fresh. It's a fantastic environment that's home to 700 employees that's split across trading, which is your product-related teams, your design, your buying, your merch, your tech, your garment specialist teams, your sourcing teams. And then you've got support functions at Matalan like your IT, e-com, marketing, HR, business risk, and teams like that as well. The site is very accessible off the East Lancs Road. It's a huge road that comes off the M58 and M57, so very accessible off the motorways. A godsend is that you've got on-site parking that's free, so you don't need to park miles away at a cost and walk into the office. You park on the doorstep, you walk in, you don't get wet. We're accessible from a public transport point of view as well. Local bus routes would take you up to our head office site, and we've got local train stations available as well. And in terms of the ongoing events and opportunities that take place on site, I would normally bring Annie into this part, but unfortunately, obviously COVID has meant that the majority of Annie's time at Matalan has probably been working remotely. Is that right, Annie? Or a bit of both, bit of a mix for you?
I think with technical services, with it being quite hands-on,
right.
I've actually been in 5 days a week.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Throughout the times, obviously most recently at the most recent lockdown, I've been doing about 50-50, but yeah, so I've been in this office a lot.
Yeah. So I guess really, because we've got skeleton staff at head office at the moment, you've probably not experienced like the traders coming in and selling chocolates and fudge and gym memberships and things like that. You've probably not seen a lot of that, obviously, because of we're trying to limit the number of visitors coming on site. But hopefully by July next year, when you start your placement, COVID situation has massively improved. And what you would expect to see typically at head office is, as I say, a number of traders locally coming in, offering fantastic products, whether that be fresh fruit, whether that be other food or non-food related items, could be cards leading up to sort of certain events or seasonal events. But this time of year, what we'd expect to see now is we would be doing our Christmas markets. So external traders coming in, and we'd have an indoor market set up in our conference centre. And we'd also be advertising our head office quiz, our Christmas quiz, where we get approximately 300 to 400 colleagues in our conference centre, all battling it out for bragging rights in terms of the Christmas quiz. We're going to be going more remote with that this year, but as I say, come next year when you join us, I'm sure that situation will be much improved and you'll get to enjoy all the fantastic things that we have in place at head office. The site is well set up for breakout areas to switch off, recharge and protect your well-being. Equally, great opportunities to go and work in quiet spaces for you to be more creative without distractions. You are integrated within your teams. There's people around you for support, for interaction, for fun and banter as well. On-site canteen, as you would expect, serving hot and cold food that cater for a variety of different dietary requirements. Being a vegan myself, I can speak from experience. Very accommodating and really good quality food. And obviously what you want to hear is that they offer Costa coffee at a discounted price. I think everybody wants that. Keeps you going throughout the day. So the site is fantastic. It's very accessible, great facilities, great opportunities and activities happening on site to keep you engaged all the time. Okay, I think at the heart of any big, great, successful business are its company values. And Matalan are no different. Our company values at the heart of everything we do. They underpin the way we behave, the way we perform, the way we interact, the way we treat one another. We have 4 key values: think customer, think family, be real, be the best. And they are integrated into everything that we do all the time. Okay, so a lot of them speak for themselves, but think customer. If it doesn't add value to our customers, we won't do it. We put our customers first in everything that we do. So every decision we make, there's a focus of what does that mean to the customer? Does it add value? Does it improve the experience? If it doesn't, we don't do it. We will rethink it. Think family is about us, the people, the family. Our people make us who we are. We know together we're stronger. The people that work at Matalan are very, very proud to be part of the Matalan family. And we would expect you to very much fit in and feel very much part of the family as well. Be real is about treating each other as we'd like to be treated. It's about that respect and that being down to earth, regardless to what role you're in or what level you're at. And then be the best. In order for any business to be successful, it needs its people to want to be the best, and they're continuously taking responsibility. We learn fast when things could be better, and we challenge ourselves and each other to be the best we can be. So those values will integrate into things like the way we develop, our appraisals that we do, the interview process that we do. So this is a real good shout out for anyone that's there listening, that when you come to apply for Matalan, it'd be really good for you to understand our values and learn more about them, because you'll find that they probably connect to your own. And when you come to do your interview, you'll be able to reference them or relate to them or talk about them. So I think that's really good to know. And there's more information on our careers website about our values. Equally, Matalan is huge on sustainability. And I know that's really important to the young generation coming through. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because we're challenged for time. But you can see on screen there that this is a small fraction of some of the great things and the focuses we've got at Matalan to ensure that we are green and we're helping the environment. We want to be sustainable in the future and support, the world in that sense. So we're always looking at different initiatives and ways to reduce plastic, whether that be small things or large things. Bag one, miss one in our distribution centre, where we're reducing plastics on the product, but we're still maintaining protection and quality of the garment as well. We have huge recycling campaigns, whether that be the hangers, cardboard boxes, unsold products go to charity. Our trading teams, whether that's the team you'll be going into, the garment technologist, the buyers, the designers, the sourcing teams, are always working together to look for sustainable raw materials in the products that we produce. And carbon emissions, whether that's turning the lights off, and also going into our transport team, making sure that we are doing our utmost to reduce the CO2 emissions. And we are doing a brilliant job in that space, and we continue to do that going forward. So if that's important to you, then rest assured, peace of mind, it's very important to us as well. Equally as important is our charity partners. I've mentioned quite a bit on that already. We have a fantastic ongoing relationship with the NSPCC. Alder Hey I've mentioned. The Retail Trust, if you've worked in retail, you know they do a fantastic job of supporting our colleagues across retail, whether that be from a well-being point of view, which could be for mental health, it could be for financial development. You know, you may suffer a bereavement and you need someone to talk to. At some points in your life, you might need support from a counsellor. And the Retail Trust are able to give us access to that without waiting those long times to get the support that you need. We have access to a Retail Trust hub as well, which is an exclusive site that we pay for our colleagues to get all the support they need day to day. And then the final thing, School of Hope. I mentioned before that amazing work we do with the school in Bangladesh. Now, if you're passionate about charity like I am, and many of our colleagues are, then, and I know, Annie, you've got involved in some charity stuff more with Alder Hey not long ago, and we'll come back to that in a moment. There's always something available for you to get involved in, whether that's a triathlon for Alder Hey, whether it's running a marathon for NSPCC, whether that's baking a cake for Retail Trust, or getting involved in a Guinness World Book of Records campaign that we did not long ago for a 5K pajama walk in Liverpool. The gents might want to get involved in Movember, things like that. We're doing, there's something always happening if, you know, for you to get involved if you want to. But it goes to show our commitment to charity is huge, and it's something we're really passionate about. Okay, well-being wise, again, more important than ever, particularly with the challenge that the pandemic is having on us individually and collectively. Matalan goes out of its way to support you in terms of your well-being. So every Wednesday there is activity happening, whether that's a post, a webinar, raising awareness, some new content added to our development website, hints and tips, raising awareness, supporting each other. There's something always going on to keep that message alive of well-being and its importance. We run online and offline workshops. We have an online well-being space with, again, hints, tips, and points to the right place to go if you need support. I mentioned the Wellbeing Hub with Retail Trust. When we are allowed back on site in the new year, hopefully, then fresh fruit is normally provided for staff on the way in, which is fantastic. We have all our colleagues at head office get given an extra day leave from a well-being point of view, and that's down to you what you do with it. That could be a lazy day in front of their TV in your pajamas. That could be a spa day with friends, or that could be going for a walk, going to the gym, you know, whatever that might be. As long as you're refreshing and recharging and looking after your well-being, that day is given to you for that. And I mentioned before as well, our on-site brilliant canteen offer a wide range of healthy eating options as well. So we are very big on well-being, and we do very much care about you and your well-being. Okay, first half of the presentation done, a little bit about the culture, the environment, what you can get excited about, what's available to you. The next part of the presentation is a little bit more about the placement opportunity itself, a bit more of that detail, that finer detail. So first of all, what we're promoting today is the Garment Technologist 12-month paid placement. You will typically be doing a Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, which is pretty standard. And as I said before, and that links into the next slide, is that you'll be coming into the team, filling a position within the team. You're not a spare part, you're not a spare head. You'll get role, responsibility, and accountability to really make a difference. And you'll see the difference you make as well. You press a button, the light will go off. And that was very rewarding and very fulfilling as well. Mentioned before, something that we're very proud and pleased and that our previous students have highlighted is that what they really love is that element, that being a role on the team, having an important part of the team, that real life responsibility. What we hear lots of, guys, is that not only once you complete your placement after the 12 months, not only will you have grown professionally with really great skills, knowledge, and new behaviors and enhanced confidence, but you will grow as individuals during your time at Matalan. You will develop techniques and ways in which you can deal with different situations, whether that's dealing with external stakeholders, internal stakeholders, interacting, working as a team, problem solving. getting yourself out of difficult situations and coming up with new solutions. They're life skills that you can take into any walk of life, whether that be in your family, with your friends, whatever career path you choose in the future, they are all transferable life skills. You will be entitled to all those brilliant benefits that Matalan offer. We've mentioned well-being stuff as well. We've mentioned the activities on site, 20% discount at Matalan, and also access to our My Family Extras, where you can get discount at all our partnering retailers, if you like your online shopping and things like that. And one thing to really highlight here, and I will go into more detail, is that you'll be well looked after in terms of your development. We have an award-winning learning and development team at Matalan, and the development you get over that 12 months, probably being biased, but knowing what I know and the companies and other employers that I collaborate with, the development offer we give to you, the development available to you is unbelievable. It's fantastic, and it's something that is massively helps Matalan stand out from the rest in terms of the placement opportunity. So I've told you quite a lot of things that why we believe Matalan is great for you. Here's what we've heard a little bit from Annie. We'll hear more from Annie in a moment, but I thought I'd take a few snapshot short comments from our current students and you may have seen the video on our social media channel recently, launching our placement opportunities, but there was lots of great comments and great feedback that didn't make the video. I just thought I'd share them on the screen for you now. So we mentioned the development program that focuses on your well-being, the skills you need for your job and your personal life that you could take back to uni and in everyday life. The environment is fast-paced and fun, and we have a great commitment to charity, and we'll get you involved in that. Everyone you work with at Matalan are welcoming and helpful and supportive, and Matalan is a really great place to work. And again, just to reiterate and re-emphasize, the real responsibility to make a significant difference within your team in this business, which is just unbelievable. And there are all the things that you can look forward to that our current students are saying as we speak. Okay, so Annie, I'm going to bring you in to play here a little bit. So the role of a technologist, I know you're going to go into a bit more detail in your bit later in the talk, but you can see on screen there, you're involved daily in problem solving, leading fit sessions with buying and design teams. You're working collaboratively with those teams, is that right?
Yeah, when we're doing a fit session, we'll sit in with the trainee buyer and the buyer themselves and give comments, our point of view, you really listen to your opinions valued. Brilliant.
And have you learned quite a lot from collaborating with the buyers and the designers in terms of expanding your knowledge and capability of that whole process?
Yeah, you definitely see theories coming into practice, which I would never have, been able to put them into a practical situation before. So even just working with these other departments, you learn things from them as well.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Okay, so you can see that that's the type of things we're getting involved in: store visits, reporting, comp shopping, reporting innovative suggestions for a product area, so you can be creative, you can think outside the box, you can bring new ideas to the party to help move that area forward, which is fantastic. I've spoken to the hiring manager, Elaine, and asked her, Elaine, what would you want from your next student? And by the way, Annie, she had nothing but praise for yourself. She said, you're super. If you can get me another Annie, that would be brilliant. So this is what Elaine and the team are looking for from the garment technologist. Someone who's got good, confident communication skills, in particular listening, because you're going to be learning new things, particularly at the beginning of the placement. So communication is key, in particular listening. Somebody who can be organised and able to work in a timely manner. Active team members who are also happy to lead and drive and take ownership on certain tasks and activities. Someone who really likes a challenge and likes to be stretched and learn new things. Good analytical skills, a willingness to learn and share as well and be collaborative. Is that fair to say, Annie? Does that describe you?
Oh, I'd like to think so.
Yeah, so that's what the team are looking for. And again, Annie will share more about a day in the life of the role in a moment. Okay, so I mentioned before that you'll be well supported by learning and development. We have an internal development offer called Matalan Education, also known as ME for short. And what you will get during your placement, and hopefully when you come back as a graduate in the future, is an outstanding induction and onboarding program that massively sets you up for success at the beginning of your placement and beyond. You'll be supported by your team. You'll be supported by various development activities, whether that be together as a student group, online, or as I say, within the team as well. You'll get access to some unbelievable technical and behavioural masterclasses. So that will be technical, will be specific processes to your role. That could be anything to do with the buying processes, the technical processes from a technologist, insight into sourcing, how design go from concept to customer. So you get to understand the buying cycle, all that elements that link into your role from a technical perspective, but also behavioural. We're really keen to develop life skills and behavioural skills, such as developing your presentation skills, your interview skills, helping you work more effectively and more timely, helping you develop your personal brand. So there's a variety of technical masterclasses, behavioural masterclasses that will support your development as well. We have a website for our development, which will host hundreds of online learning tools. So you can access them as and when you want. You can grab and go when you need them. Structured development programs. So your placement has structured development. But beyond that, when you come back to us in the future, there are always development programs available. I'm just launching one now with our recruitment team to help progress trainee merchandisers into an assistant merchandiser in the future. We have management development programs as well for further into your career. So there's lots of development programs on offer. Each individual person will have a career path tool that gives you clarity and understanding of what you need to do to go from the entry level of your role and develop upwards into being an expert in your role. Now that tool is designed to help you drive your own development with support, as well as helping you become the best you can be as a garment technologist. And when you do achieve expert level, you are knocking on the door for promotion and progression if that's something that you want in the future. The great thing during your placement is that gives you direction, it gives you clarity, it gives you focus. And I'm going to challenge you guys that there's no reason at the end of your 12 months with Matalan, you can achieve the expert level of your career path tool, so that actually when you do come back to Matalan as a graduate, you are hugely set up for success to hit the ground running when you come back in. And if let's say you were staying beyond 12 months, which obviously isn't the case, you would be job ready for that next step up. So that is a fantastic tool that you'll get access to. And then further into your career in Matalan, I also manage apprenticeships. You will be able to take advantage of our apprenticeship offer and work towards degrees in other subjects, other areas. That might be management, leadership, or that could be a master's to top up what you've done. So there's great qualifications, fully funded by Matalan, available for later in your career or further into your career. Okay, here's a snapshot of that development program that I spoke to you about. So you'll get that even before you join. We'll be working with you, we'll be getting to know you, we'll be supporting you, we'll be growing you into the business. You'll get your day one induction. You'll then go on to a 6 to 12 week onboarding program designed specific to your role. And that'll be tapping into subject matter experts face to face. You'll get mentoring, coaching, and you'll get masterclasses support as well. What we did with Annie and our current students is we did an Alder Hey shop takeover. So our 8 students went into the Alder Hey charity shop in Liverpool around the key time when we launched our pajama campaign. And you guys ran the shop for the day, didn't you, Annie?
Yeah, we managed to take over a little section, especially for the pajamas. It was loads of fun.
Yeah, really good. You got to meet the patients, the families, got to know each other as a team, and also understand the real value behind that and the importance behind that charity for Matalan, which is great. And then everything else that pops up on screen there, guys, is what Annie's on that journey herself now. So I mentioned that the development you get on the job with your team in role is immense. but we also keep you together as a student group and take you on a development journey together. So these are the behavioural masterclasses that you'll get access to. We did Wellbeing in October. November, it was all about managing your workloads, how you can avoid procrastinating, take advantage of the tools around you to be more effective with your time. December is all about, which comes next for Annie, we're doing about our value system, what's important to us, how we can influence, how we can negotiate, how we can communicate more effectively, understanding what drives you and others. January is about setting goals and developing yourself and driving your development, and so on and so on. April, presenting with impact, how you can really engage your audience. That could be from an interview point of view, sign-off point of view. It could be a presentation within your team, how eye contact, body language, the quality of your slides, how you facilitate the conversation, all adds impact to the way you present. And then perfecting your personal brand as well before you go back to uni. What do you want to be known for, and what are people saying about you when you're not in the room, and how you align the two? At the end of your placement, we'll have a celebratory event where we'll reflect on your journey, we'll celebrate your success, but also as well, we'll plant the seed for your future development, how you can then take this experience back to uni and into your future career as well. So that's the program we put on offer for you guys. That is why Matalan are being rated #1 in retail for the placement program. Okay, so just to wrap up my bit before I hand you over to Annie, and then we'll have a bit of time at the end for some questions. So you're probably thinking, that's great, Gary, love what you're saying, really interested, what's the process? Well, we're in that process now. The application is live on the matalan.jobs website. The window opened to apply yesterday, and it's open for 4 weeks up until the 15th of December. So you can apply anytime now. In December, from 15th of December, sort of the last 2 weeks of December, over the Christmas period, myself and the amazing recruitment team will be working together to filter through applications, and then we'll be doing the application screening. Successful candidates will be progressed into the next stage in January, where they'll be offered a video interview, where that'll be completed during the January period. Again, then we'll offer you the successful candidates who have progressed further will then be offered a interview that will have an element of a presentation and competency-based interview, as well as an assessment centre working as a group. That'll be between Jan and Feb. And then we will make you the offer in March with a view to start in July, August. And the way we try and work it is there'll be crossover between our current students and yourselves. So there's a brilliant handover that will help settle you into the team and help set you up for success in your new position. Application overview. So you see that we've got a marketing campaign heavily off the ground now. We've launched that already. So please follow us on our social media channels. You'll get to see what's happening in the world of Matalan, what's new, what our students are saying, what our colleagues are saying. And that will help you really get a good understanding of what we're about. And that'll help you have that conversation with us during your interview. You can apply through Matalan Jobs website. I mentioned before, you'll then be invited to an online video interview, followed by a presentation, interview and assessment centre. If you've never done it before, the video interview, we use a platform called Shine. It's a very user-friendly platform. And you'll be able to, what we want you to be thinking about, guys, is relate your experience to what's required in the role. So truly understand the role spec via the website and relate your experience to it, connect the two. We want to see your personality, your character. We want you to be authentic, and we want to see your passion and your unique selling point. Don't be fake, be authentic. We want you. We don't want someone you're not. Make sure you know your CV, so do that pre-research and be sort of sound with it, prepare it. And if you can, I know it's difficult, but try and relax. You will get a test on it first, not a test as in a test, but a chance to try it first before you then go and do your video interview. So you'll get a chance to practice it first. The interview and assessment, standard format really. So if you're successful and we invite you back for an online interview, there'll be a presentation with a topic and you'll be given a week to prepare it. You'll go through a competency-based interview, which is values based on Matalan's values. We spoke about them already. Remember to relate to your experience. And a great tip in any form of interview you do, whether it's with Matalan or anybody else, to help structure your answers, the STAR technique. What was the situation you were dealt with? What task needed to be done? What action did you take? And what was the result as an outcome to your action? What result was? What was the outcome from what you did? That's a great way. And I know you've got access to your uni's career teams, so please tap into them in terms of CV, interview techniques, etc. The online assessment, we want to see a bit of you individually, but we will also want to see how you interact, work together and collaborate with others. So we'll do an icebreaker to really showcase yourself, and then we'll set up an activity for you to interact and work together as a team as well. Okay. Top tips again, and the first bit is be prepared for your assessment centre, research the brand and the role thoroughly, goes without saying. Who are Matalan, what are we about, what's our brand values. We've said before, be genuine, be authentic, be friendly, be you, be passionate. That passion demonstrates us how much you want it and why you want it. Could be the difference between you and the next person. That could just be the difference. And then where possible and try your best to be confident and try not to let your nerves get the better of you. And that's where preparation is key. You know, you could do some mock interviews. You could research competency-based questions online. All the information is there. It's about if you invest in that, it will massively help you when you come to do your interview. Okay, so I've done quite a lot of talking there. I'm going to hand over to Annie. And Annie's going to share her experience so far over the next 5 minutes or so. Over to you, Annie.
So if I drop off, I apologise. I will be back. Just bear with. For some reason, every 10 minutes, I seem to be dropping off. So you know who I am now. I am the placement student here in Technical Services. My experience so far has probably been different. With everything going on, I think initially I was really worried that I wasn't going to get the experience that people prior to me had got, or what I was originally expecting when I, applied for the placement. But Matalan have literally gone above and beyond to make sure that, I'm still getting the one-to-one training. I'm still getting, check-ins daily, weekly, monthly with my supervisors, just to make sure that I'm still on track. I was quite worried that I was just going to be left to my own devices, but if you need the support, people are always there. So far, I'd say that was the main thing that I'm taking from my experience so far, is how no problem is too big or too small, or no question is silly. The more you put into the role, the more you get out, basically. And then a day in the life is, again, different with the current situation. As like Gary said, it's quite quiet here in the office. I'm lucky because Technical Services is quite practical. So we have still been able to do physical fits, collaborate with the buyers and the merch to make sure that, everything's running smoothly behind the scenes. I'd say every day is different, which is a big thing for me because I love being on the ball and just learning new things all the time. But what I would say is that we're starting to delve into the world of 3D, and I think this has been fast forwarded due to COVID. It was always going to be a thing in the future for Matalan, but it's definitely become a real push to try and get it ASAP, because it does take the touch away from the processes that we do daily. So it's been really interesting to learn the processes of how 3D's made, created, the avatars, the drapes of fabrics. It feels like you're at the forefront of something very current, and it's definitely something that I know I'll be using in the future. So it's amazing to learn whilst here. I'd say at the moment, I love my team and the responsibility that I've been given. So I'm currently looking after accessories here in technical services. So that is like my own department to own, to love, to cherish, which I think is a big thing because the team around you instill confidence into you. So when you first start a role, you know, coming straight from university, the theories and stuff can sometimes feel
Oh, Annie, I think you've dropped off. Oh, Annie, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry,
You're
I
back.
told you.
Yeah. Intermittent signal. So you were just saying some of the theories in uni, and then you cut off.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd say that, you know, when you come straight from university, sometimes the theories can feel a little bit like they're on paper, they're flat, and it's amazing to come into a role and see them come to life, really.
Yeah.
So things that you may have been required to try and understand via a book is like so much easier to understand when you're seeing it physically happening. So like the grading of patterns, for example, the sizes, the fit issues. It's just really interesting, to be honest. So yeah, so I'm just loving the team. I'm loving having the responsibility of my own little department. And yeah, that's what I'm loving the most.
Brilliant.
And then
yeah, sorry, just the last bit though. Annie, why would you recommend Matalan to the guys that are tuning in today?
So again, everything I've said, everyone here is so friendly. I'm a real people person, so I love, you know, the social aspects and the confidence that everyone gives you as an individual. It's just going to stay with me forever, to be honest. It's obviously I'm local, as you can probably all tell. So for me to be able to stay quite local, to stay at home because I look after my mum, so it's amazing that there's such a big company so local to me that I haven't had any less of an experience to people who've travelled to London, to Madrid, to wherever. Like I still feel like I'm at the forefront of, you know, a big fashion retailer.
I think that's a really powerful point, isn't it? I think there is a perception, isn't it, that you have to go to the capital to do that, but it's on your doorstep here in the Northwest, isn't it, to do that?
Yeah, like we're unusual because we are in the Northwest, and I think we need to celebrate that really and not let anyone think that we're any less because we're not in the capital.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. So it sounds to me, Annie, from the feedback I've had from your manager and from what you're saying today, is that you know, even with a pandemic, you're thoroughly enjoying your experience of Matalan so far.
100%. I don't want to leave already.
We get that a lot.
I'm dreading the day that I have to say goodbye to some of the people already. So
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And do you know the good thing as well, Annie, as well, it's only going to get better for you because as we obviously bring more people back into the office and you've got loads of great development in front of you as well from the placement program and on the job. It sounds like you're owning your own department there now as well. I can imagine your experience is only going to get better as well. So it's great to hear in the first 3 months that it's going so well for you. So thank you so much for sharing your journey. And if you hang around for us, we've got just over 5 minutes left for the guys to ask questions. So please stay with us and don't drop out just yet. But that's amazing insight and very inspiring to hear how far you've come in a short space of time in terms of the role that you're doing. Brilliant. Thank you very much. So, guys, I said before, follow Annie's story, Annie's journey. I know Annie will be sharing more on social media, as will our other students, and as we do in all aspects of the business. So if you're not already, feel free to join us and follow us on social media. So typically, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, you'll find us at Life at Matalan, which will give you a real, as in the title, real life at Matalan, a fly on the wall sort of view, if you like. And then if you're on LinkedIn, which I know many of you are, Matalan, straightforward. Okay, so with 5 minutes to go, I'm going to open it up for questions. What I will do though, guys, to protect your identity, I'm going to stop the recording. So let me do that now.